Alright, welcome back once again, Red Blue Gamers. So today, surprise video, we're going to quickly try and paint a few bases rims for my 20 Kroot I'll be taking in this army list. They are currently white, which I'm not a huge fan of. I do prefer the black rims. So we'll go through and we will try our best to get a few done without gluing them down to stuff accidentally, or a couple of the poor little, what should I call them, stealth suits ended up having to be peeled off the table because they got slightly stuck to the hobby board that I use to build models on, or cut, or glue on, so that nothing really gets on my desk. And that was a little bit annoying because that then meant I had to go ahead and re-glue them back down to their bases because they actually fully popped off their base, which is a rather annoying and frustrating possibility, but it happens, and so be it. So quickly just working on a few of these rims, which lay these bad boys down, getting some black paint on there. This will obviously be the first coat. I'm assuming I'm going to have to do two as per normal when I am painting base rims. Sometimes you get lucky and the one coat does really well. Other times it does not, and well, I've got way too much black on that brush and it's halfway up the fairing of the brush. So again, we just cruise around, and this is not a video I was planning on filming, but it's being done now, so let's look at moving on. Everyone, just so you know, we are on our way to 100 subscribers. Currently, at the time of recording this video, I'm sitting at 82. So, look, for everyone who has liked, subscribed, got, shared videos, if they've shared them, one of their mates or friends in the direction of my videos, I appreciate it. I may look at doing a giveaway when I hit 100. Maybe I will wait till we hit a bigger number, but I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it at the moment. Thinking about a $10 or $15 gift card for Games Workshop, just as a thank you, so maybe a little bit of a competition. Everyone who is subscribed will definitely get a chance to go in it, and yeah, really appreciate you guys getting me so quickly to almost, as I said, to 100 subscribers. So when we get there, I will obviously do a channel update, thanking everyone and announcing what my decision is on what I'm gonna do. But yeah, so for now, thanks to everyone. I'm looking forward to actually being at 100. I feel like then I will feel somewhat relaxed, as I know that people are actually enjoying my content. For everyone who returns and watches another episode, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm definitely just trying this out as a bit of fun. Maybe eventually one day when I get to the point where I can make a side hustle out of this, who knows? But I really just want to provide some more like down to earth content where instead of seeing professionals do this, paint, play, talk, you've just got everyday guys who really what the community is all about. Just the everyday people. What we see is what we get. We don't have a huge amount of time to play. Some of us do get out and play tournament games, but a lot of it is kind of like, beer and pretzel Warhammer, or what you would call beer and pretzel D&D. But, we're just here to have a laugh, catch up with mates, enjoy ourselves and talk rubbish, shit, talk some trash. And that's the whole aim of this channel, is to really be, I'm not going to be any more than what I am. I am me. I am as authentic as I can be. I enjoy playing against mates and having a laugh, but I will not lie that I do enjoy playing tournaments. I am a competitive person by nature, and am always trying to learn to be better, so that the next time I play in a tournament, I am a better player, a better opponent, quicker, faster, can make my opponents, feel a little bit at ease, as that they're not getting stiffed or stooged, and they've got someone who is very much so attempting to, make sure that the game is fun and we get all rounds played, because I do feel a little bit frustrated when you get a slow player and you can't manage to get your turn because they take forever in their turns. I have had that happen at a tournament. Got a very, very slow player once he started to realise that I was going to win the match, which was the very first tournament I ever played in, and also it was his as well, so he was feeling a little bit, I think a little bit overwhelmed, because he thought he might be able to beat me. I got very lucky. I had a couple of Overwatches go off and nothing go wrong. I actually managed to get all the models to hit in Overwatch, thankfully, and then a few of my, pieces that I was setting up to do some damage really dealt with a few models of his, and really allowed me to push the point on what was going on. I picked up a fair few secondaries, and really the lead was building, and it was looking like I was going to probably be able to play turns 3, 4, and 5 and just score as heavily as possible. So I think that kind of freaked him out a little bit, and he was feeling a bit overwhelmed. As I said, first tournament for him, first tournament for me. You don't ever want to go, 0-5. It's very daunting when all of a sudden you're sitting at 0-3 on day 2, and you're like, well, I need to win a game, and I don't think it's going to happen. I only won the one game, so I did end up 1-4, but apart from one game where I got absolutely trounced, that first tournament really unlocked the competitive side in me a little bit, but also the enjoyment side of what can happen when you have a little bit of fun. And I will say I had a barrel of laughs, definitely. Some of the guys that did play were awesome. The gags were funny. The guys that put together that actual tournament like to do some random stuff, we'll say, some custom missions. And the custom missions were, absolutely hilarious. I took them because we obviously got to keep our custom mission cards, and I took them home and took them to play with my mates, and they were entertained, bamboozled. They thought it was pretty funny, and it was a little bit unfair on them because I'd already played them once before, meaning that I gave them a bit of a touch up, but they could see the entertaining side in what had happened, and the fact that this was the way that the tournament I was playing at had set it up, and they thought it was quite different, quite cool. You don't always get that kind of stuff happen, and that's one of the things that really I looked forward to the next couple of times I've been and played at that tournament, that they've got some real random things going on, some real random missions coming, and it just makes it entertaining because you don't know what you're going to get, what you're going to walk into, and at the same time, both you and your opponent are working on the fly to figure out how these missions are going to play out, how they're going to work, and it is what it is. Anyway, I have got one base on all those Kroot there. Those dastardly little devils have had one lick of Abaddon Black, which I prefer to use for my base painting. Sometimes I, in the past, have used the contrast paint, but it depends on what colour I am actually priming the minis in. If I've primed them in a grey, of the Vallejo matte grey that I have, then yeah, the contrast black seems to work okay on that. On the white, the contrast black seems to take more than 2 coats to really darken, especially recently I've tried it out and I don't really like it, so I switched over to Abaddon Black hoping that it would fix the problem. But that being said, you know, that is 20 Kroot with a base rim, first coat done down. I will do another one, and obviously again in that next video I will probably yammer on like a crazy person about tournaments, things that I've done, and everything that's going on. So don't forget, guys, like, subscribe. Let's hit that 100, and then we'll work towards getting that competition up and running. And then hopefully soon I can actually provide you with a few game updates, because I'm very close to being able to go ahead and play a few matches, which is the plan, so that I can get used to this list. But bye for now.